Hello there once again. Thank you so much for joining us here on Movie TV as we bring you another episode of our in-depth news. And look at the stories we have for you this week. Disability is not inability. The case of 27-year-old Clever Nachimbali, who was born without both hands. Due to his physical disability, many government schools where his parents took him to be enrolled to pursue his education dreams rejected him. 27 years later, Clever has been accepted to pursue his education desire at a Lusaka private school.
But
in a hurry to spur economic development, government take shortcuts in establishment of multi-facility economic zones, MFEZ. The two facilities in Lusaka, one to the east of the city, another to the south, continue progressing without an environmental impact assessment carried out. Concerned stakeholders warn the facilities have been established in forest areas sitting on underground water resources for the city. Mining in Chongwe's Shantumbu area continues despite a court injunction stopping the activity. A Movie TV news crew that visited the area was threatened to be shot at by a Chinese company manager carrying out the activity. The development has angered Chief Senesing Commissioner in whose area the mine is, and she decided to summon the Chinese to a meeting at her palace. I'm Francesca Piribanda, and you're watching The Scoop. Now don't forget that at the tail end of the program we do have the question and the proverb of the week. You do not want to miss that out. Chief Senesing Commissioner Mukamambo II last week summoned officials from a Chinese company carrying out mining activities in Shantumbu. Now this follows media reports linking her to the illegal activity, which apparently is a subject of a court injunction. Now the mine is at the center of controversy between China Jiangsu International Company and Vikram Investments Limited.
This is a mine quarry here in Chongwe's Shantumbu area, which is at the center of controversy. The Chinese company China Jiangsu International and Vikram Investments Limited are at each other's throat over this mine. Vikram claims to be the rightful owner of this mine, but before the company could start operations, China Jiangsu International allegedly moved in and started quarrying and mining activities without a valid license. This prompted Vikram Investments to seek legal redress, and the High Court granted an injunction to restrain China Jiangsu from conducting mining activities. According to documents obtained by the Scoop team, Vikram Investments was granted large-scale prospecting license number 16703-HQ-LPL in 2012. A visit to the site by the Scoop team found some Chinese managers and workers working in total disregard of the High Court injunction. One of the Chinese managers, upon seeing the video camera, ordered the gun-toting security guard to shoot at the crew as he attempted to grab the camera. He made frantic efforts to summon some workers to join in removing the crew from anywhere near the mine, but the workers just watched. Last week, Vikram Investments Limited lodged a complaint against China Jiangsu with the Zambia Environment Management Agency over the Chinese firm's continued mining, even with a court injunction in force. Zambia Environment Management Agency Public Relations Officer Irene Chipili confirmed that China Jiangsu International Limited and Vikram Investments Limited were summoned over the mine dispute.
Under Environmental Management Agency, we will continue with our investigations, thorough investigations to determine the nature of mining operations that are going on. We have noted, even from our own statistics, that there's been an increase in the number of mining in this country, and particularly when you look at the growth of lime and cement manufacturing facilities in this country. We've seen an increase in the number of quarries and cement plants that are being established. And again, we will ensure that we try as much as possible ensure that all new developments are subjected to environmental impact assessment, so that we can already identify these negative environmental impacts and put in sufficient measures measures to mitigate them. And even for existing facilities, we use the provisions provided for in the Environmental Management Act to ensure that all operations are taking place within the requirements of the law. So we're following those reports that you have referred to. ZIMA will ensure that we conduct thorough investigations, and as depending on the findings, we will take the necessary corrective measures to ensure that we protect the environment and the well-being of society at large.
On Wednesday, Chieftainess Nkomecha held a closed-door meeting with officials from the Chinese firm at her palace in Chongwe, following media reports linking her to the illegal activity. After the meeting, one of the Chinese officials, who identified himself as Sam, declined to be on camera but confirmed discussing the mine issues with the chieftainess.
And your name?
Sam.
Sam. What's your position?
For
An interview.
now, I'm just malaria to come out, so I need to get and anything. I'll wait for the chief and I'm waiting for you to meet again.
Okay, you wait for the chief. I thought she was there.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Or you continue the meeting again? Okay, this afternoon?
After. So now he told that's why I wish to follow.
Okay.
Now nothing is clear. So anything you said out, nothing.
So the meeting continues? Okay.
Now you see, and then people come from one leave, no, still discussing.
Okay. But have you been to Zema? You thought Zema summoned you. Did you go to Zema as well?
Where my worker was there, my manager was there.
Oh, the manager went there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anything, wait for the chief.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we today we are here. Okay.
Okay.
You can tell me your visit card.
He also confirmed having been summoned by the Zambia Environmental Management Agency for continuing mining in Shantumbu despite a court injunction being in effect. Vikram was given a large-scale prospecting license by the Minister of Mines, and Zema approved the environmental project brief.
Our last story on the program this week is one of great determination against all odds. Now, Clever has no both hands. He is physically challenged. However, that has not stopped him from leading a normal life like any other able-bodied person. His only regret is how society tends to treat him with a sense of pity.
At first glance, Clever Nachimbali appears able-bodied like any of his colleagues in this adult literacy class at the Lusaka private school. But when you take a closer look, you will notice that Clever has got no both arms. He was born like this 27 years ago. The past 27 years have not been easy for him. Clever recalls when he became aware of his physical disability at the age of 10.
Nafika 10 years. Manzeo pame zinabwera nzeru namba kuona why ni different na wanzanga bonse. But pame naona ati ni different sichinani gwire ku mutima maningi. Ndawa chifukwa Mulungu ananipasa nzeru zakuti nichite zintu zinangu zamene sibakonesa kuchita bantu baina chani baina manja. So ningakambe chati vinangu nichita but sininga dandole maningati why nini so ningakambe cheke Mulungu aina mpamvu.
His long cherished desire was to access education, which was denied to him at a tender age due to his disability. Clever explains that most government schools where his parents took him for enrollment refused to take him on.
Pamene nakula banayesa kuti banipeleke ku skulu ma parents wanga kufika ku skulu kuja baidi master nokamba ati aine sininga kwanise kuponza mtu monga wewe so zipeta chite bwanji musonge che kunyumba so tinabwera kunyumba kuja but ma parents banayesa kuti baende kunao kuti bapenda bazapeza ko wamena zantenga ati tiende ku skulu bonse nachita bwanji bonse banakana so kukulanga kunavuta.
In the meantime, Clever started to teach himself how to write and joined his father in his carpentry workshop.
Batate benze ba carpenter. So batate benzo panga vimpando, matebo na chani. So nani namba chitabwanji kuyanga na bamwe bachita. manje binaningera mu nzero nine namba pang'ono pamwe chita bwanji kupanga. So nine ni kumalasti nine nakala carpenter. So wantu bambiri wanchita bwanji wanadaba wayi umuntu achita paso. Azanga tezonkala bambiri pa nyumba bacho ku maskulu kuja bapasa ka homework bayamba kulemba pa nyumba. So nine kwira ku mutima nachita bwanji first one ni eserere kuchita bwanji kulemba.
Mazina mayezi yanga.
Hapo ni shiniruma 11, 12, 13 so. So naesera kuti nchite bwanji niese tuone ngati chinganikange. So ninaesa pang'ono kupeza ati naamba kuziwa mushemushe kulemba.
He is thankful to God for his status, and more so that the name Lusaka Private School has given him a scholarship and enrolled him in an adult literacy class.
Bantu olo waenda ku muntu kuti nifuna nichite chaso kapenza peza drama. Muntu akamba ati sunga chita bwanji sunga kwanise olonga kwanise eva akamba ni kuchita bwanji ni kukuvutisa chape. So icho chinani gwira kumutima manike kuti wayi bantu bani wana monga ndine nimvesa chifundo manike but ine pamene mazoonera ine vintu pamene nichita bena kusoma kwanisa. So olo muntu akamba libwera uchite vaso ningachite. So manje chinani gwira kumutima manike kuti wayi bantu nishi bani wana bwanji.
Using his feet, Clever is able to write and do more, just like any other person with arms. As the interview is going on, his phone rings and he excuses himself to answer it. How, you may ask?
Bunzi yanikasiriza nizivati. Pena ngwazani itana kuti niyambosebenza. Niziyambo kuspesela drama zanga na ba family wonse kuchita benefiti parini.
Nanga pano pa great
Pang'ono ni yake ka phone. Hello? Hello?
Clever, a last born in a family of 6, says he regrets people who want to treat him with pity, as he feels he can do anything even better when compared to able-bodied persons. He is looking forward to pursue his education, and with the right qualifications, he dreams one day to be a manager.
Okay, chame chitinani pisa cha kumtima kwangu yakuti bantu olo waenda ku muntu kuti nifuna nichite chaso kapenza peza drama. Muntu akamba ati sunga chita bwanji sunga kwanise olonga kwanise eva akamba ni kuchita bwanji ni kukuvutisa chape. So icho chinani gwira kumutima manike kuti wayi bantu bani wana monga ndine nimvesa chifundo manike but ine pamene mazoonera ine vintu pamene nichita bena kusoma kwanisa. So olo muntu akamba libwera uchite vaso ningachite. So manje chinani gwira kumutima manike kuti wayi bantu nishi bani wana bwanji.
He does not end there. He is also looking forward to marry and raise his own family.
Katika chetavi ya tipati kaimusi nichofunda kuti ulete mwana wa muntu ulipe yakuti ati matheti zange na nikuleka safu hivyo.
Clever, just like his name, advises his fellow persons with disabilities to engage in activities which will help uplift their lives, unlike depending on arms.
Neza kugura tunkuku na gula nkuku na leta mtauni munambo gulisa nase kula kashopu so chape na chitako vina wangu wapwela bena watipangire katebo. So bati ndrama yakuti nigureka safu ndrama yakuti tipeleke kuchigayo enzopezeka. So nabanzanga bena kwezokwera nipe mpaka unipaseka chani. So nebe na cheve chinachita bwanji chinani kondresa kumutima kuti nabe vali mushi bawapwela kuchita bwanji kupemba kuline. So ningakambe chekuti mutao tikangira mutao ni maningi baliko mama disabled bamapempa maningi. So vintu vinangu nikuganiza chabe why ninakala so nishi mulungu kuti vamesa bwanji kuti vamena afuna kuti nichite paziko la pansi.
He strongly believes that he is a practical example that disability is not inability.
We're back again with the current affairs question, and this week we're asking, who is the current Minister of Tourism and Arts?
Minister of Tourism. By this time.
No, I never seen waziri.
Still watu wa minister na ndani, wakansela MP na ndani still waziri wao. Wa Minister of Tourism. Bene bonja isabali. Kuba chinja chinjishi benji, posele komano sana.
Well, of course, those who keep watching Movie TV are actually keeping up with the changes going on in the cabinet. But those who do not watch, well, you saw for yourselves. Time now for our proverb of the week. The proverb this week says, do not tell the man who is carrying you that he stinks. The proverb says, do not tell the man who's carrying you that he stinks. Remember, you can keep the messages coming. All you have to do is type ASK, leave a space, type your message, and send it to 3322. Give us the stories that you want to see in depth here on The Scoop. Well, on behalf of the entire Scoop team, thank you so much for the pleasure of your company. Till we meet next week at the same time, goodbye.